Hey everyone, Simon here again for the Modern Awakened Perspective, your map for the path to enlightenment. And I've got yet another update on the ever-developing Jussie Smollett hate hoax attack. This one's changing pretty rapidly. And in fact, he's gone from being labeled a victim to now being labeled an active participant in the hoax. Before I get into the details of this update, I'll ask everyone to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. For those that have, I really appreciate your support. Also, if you hit the little bell, you'll get notified whenever I put out a new video. And let me go ahead and get into this story. As I mentioned, he's no longer considered a victim, and he's considered an active participant. This comes on the heels of the two supposed attackers being two Nigerian brothers that he actually knows well, or at least one of them was an extra on his TV show, and he actively works out with these guys, follows them on Instagram. So how he could not realize it was them in a supposed attack would be hard to believe. But anyway, the brothers were paid $3,500 before the attack to stage it, and then another $500 when they flew back from Nigeria. Supposedly they flew to Nigeria the same day as the attack, right after it happened, basically, so they'd be out of town and out of sight, out of mind, basically. But he paid for them, paid for the rope. In another video, I had mentioned that the rope was purchased at Ace Hardware, but it was actually purchased at a place called Crafty Beaver Hardware. And the brothers also supposedly wore red hats in the video. They were purchased at a place called Uptown Beauty Supply. Again, they were paid $3,500 before the attack there, and $500 when they got back into town. So the police called them into questioning on a Wednesday night, this past Wednesday, and evidently they were, under threat of being charged, gave up the goods on the staged attack. And then so Thursday, on Valentine's Day, Jussie was called in for more further questioning, but he was a no-show, which, is a sure sign of being guilty. But so after all this has gone down, he's no longer the victim, an active participant now. He hired a lawyer named Michael Monaco, who is a very, very well-known, high-profile lawyer. He was even representing Michael Cohen, who is tied up in all of the Trump drama. But he was ultimately fired, and he's hired two new lawyers now, local lawyers from Chicago, I believe, and also he hired a crisis management firm. So that tells you he's dealing with quite a crisis, and they're going to try to spin this and do whatever they can. In fact, the first lawyer, Michael Monaco, was fired or basically let go, whatever, because of a disagreement over a statement that Jussie and the other two lawyers decided to put out, where in this statement they're calling the cops liars, and and that he's still trying to stick firm by the story that it was a real attack, and that Jussie is stunned to learn that the attackers were people he knew very well. So they're going to try to play this out to the fullest. But if he's charged, which I ultimately believe he will, because there's just so many holes in this story, that he can get up to 3 years for filing this false police report in Illinois. So I hope he has to do all 3 years, in my opinion. So again, how he could not know that the people that were supposedly attacking him were his personal trainers, you know, is hard to believe, among all the other things that are hard to believe about this story. So evidently his co-conspirators have flipped on him, and now he's had to hire all these lawyers and crisis management people, which goes to show he's pretty scared, and the truth is going to come out here. So there's probably going to be more updates to this story as time goes on, but I find this very interesting, and I'm pretty sure you guys too. So if you agree with all of my conclusions here, or if you disagree, just remember the comment section is open. But that's the story from my perspective. I'll see you on the next one.